What if I told you that the price of the vegetables you buy for dinner tonight, the interest rate on your home loan, and the overall growth of the entire Indian economy are all being decided by a single factor you cannot control, the clouds above your head? It sounds like superstition, but it is cold, hard economic math. The Reserve Bank of India, the country's central bank, has just released an official warning. They state that despite our economy standing on a very strong footing right now, an uneven monsoon season could act like a massive brake, driving up prices and slowing down our growth. The Reserve Bank calls this a headwind. If you are riding a bicycle and a strong gust of wind pushes directly against your chest, slowing your momentum, that is a headwind. For India, erratic rainfall is the single most powerful force pushing against our progress. To understand why, we are going to follow the path of a raindrop through our economy. We will see how a farm output failure creates a domino effect that drives up the cost of your groceries and ultimately forces banks to keep your borrowing costs high. Beyond the umbrellas and wet commutes, these rains act as the heartbeat of the Indian supply chain. Their rhythm directly determines the size of your household budget over the next 6 months. In many Western nations, agriculture is a tiny slice of their total economy. India is different. Nearly half of our entire workforce depends directly on farming to survive, and we practice rain-fed agriculture. This means 60% of India's planted farmland relies entirely on water falling from the sky. The Indian economy is a massive engine. The monsoon is the oil keeping the biggest gear, agriculture, turning. When rains arrive, rural incomes rise. Farmers buy clothes and two-wheelers. This spending spins the remaining gears, fueling demand across the country. But when the monsoon fails, the gears grind to a halt. Crops wither, the harvest yield plummets, and the food supply shrinks. A shrinking supply of food leads directly to rising costs of living. This turns a dry weather event in rural villages into a direct financial crisis for every single citizen. Right now, our domestic factories and service sectors are actually doing very well. But the global landscape is fragile, with international conflicts and shifting oil prices creating constant pressure. Fighting these international fires means we have zero margin for error here at home. This is exactly why uneven rainfall is so dangerous. A heavy downpour is completely useless if it misses the sowing window. These sensitive crops must be planted during a strict, incredibly narrow window of time, or they simply will not grow. When crop yields drop, trucks arrive at city markets half full, sparking a bidding war among vendors. And unlike a factory, you cannot speed up nature. It takes an entire season to grow a replacement harvest. This brings us to the Reserve Bank's primary job, keeping prices stable. To fight these rising costs, the central bank must step in to forcefully cool down the broader economy and stop prices from climbing any further. When basic food eats up 40% of a household's monthly income, lifestyles change. Spending so much on survival means families cancel plans for new phones, meals, or home repairs. Millions doing this simultaneously stalls the broader economy. The economic domino effect is severe. Retail stores lose massive consumer sales. They stop placing new manufacturer orders. Factories halt their active production lines and completely freeze their new hiring. This is the Reserve Bank's ultimate fear. An uneven monsoon disrupts the delicate tightrope walk of keeping prices low while helping the country grow. A dry spell on a rural farm can eventually cost a city-dwelling factory worker their job. So how does all of this play out at your front door? If the weather remains erratic, you will feel the impact at the vegetable market within a matter of weeks. You will likely find yourself making compromises just to survive the month. You might switch to cheaper substitutes, buy smaller quantities of fresh produce, or skip buying non-essential items altogether. To track this yourself, you don't need a finance degree. Just monitor the prices of the big 3 items at your local vendor: tomatoes, onions, and potatoes. Here is a reliable rule of thumb. If the prices of these 3 specific vegetables rise for 3 consecutive weeks, treat it as a red alert. It means the farm supply chain has fractured, and it is a signal for you to immediately tighten your own spending. This graph shows the direct connection to your personal bank account. The Reserve Bank sets the repo rate. This is the interest rate they charge retail banks to borrow money. If food prices stay high, the central bank cannot cut this rate. To prevent the economy from overheating, they must keep borrowing costs elevated. Therefore, your hopes for lower monthly home or car loan EMIs are crushed by a weak monsoon. Your payments stay high. Even in our era of high-tech industries and global services, our reality remains clear. The economic destiny of the nation, the size of your grocery bills, and the interest rate on your loans are all still deeply tethered to the ancient rhythm of the monsoon. As we move through this season, I want to hear from you. Are you already seeing price spikes in your local markets? Or do you believe our modern economy is finally strong enough to survive a bad weather season without a major hit? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.